Right, YouTube, how we doing? Thank you all for tuning in once again. This is going to be a little bit of a different video. You can hopefully see from the title, the thumbnail. If you're here pre-workout for a training video, this is sadly not the one to watch. It's going to be a little bit more niche compared to some of the other videos of just people that enjoy training and that enjoy physique development. This is more so for people who are wanting to build an online coaching business. I know that this video would have helped me a lot in 2021 when I started. I started coaching at 17 years old, late end of 2021. We are now February 2026 for anyone watching this in future. I'm 21 years old. I've probably put quite a clickbaity title, thumbnail, whatever it may be, but the reality of things is you can make a lot of money with coaching, and that's not, again, just the main goal here about making money, but I want to show what's possible. I wouldn't have thought this is possible when I was 17 starting coaching. I didn't know it was in the realms of reality to be making 5 figures per month from coaching. I'm going to show you how that is possible, how I run things, how I got here, the content that it takes to get here, the effort that it takes to get here. I'm not going to go into fully like how to look after your clients because that would take a lot of time. I need like an hour-long video on like all the systems and everything. But yeah, let's get cracking straight on into it. So you'll see me here in my beautiful Curry's uniform with the badge covered with a Josh C Fit badge. So I used to be a Josh C Fit, or known as Josh C Fit, from October 2021 to late 2024. Early 2025 is when we started Natural Physique Coaching. So that's myself, Finn, Noah, and Matt, who we do the Natural Physique podcast with. If anyone doesn't know what that is, head over to the Natural Physique podcast page. I'll get Brandon to put a little photo up here and I'll see if I can put it in the description of this video as well. But with them, we started that in 2025. Since then, things have been continuing to grow, but I was doing things all on my own from late in 2021 to early 2025. Now, coaching itself, there's so many things that we can go through here. I'm going to talk a little bit about content because it seems to be the thing that people struggle with most. If you don't know how to actually coach someone, you obviously need to sort that first. Get a good coach, get someone that you look up to, get someone you know is trustworthy, that you've followed for a long time, that you know their personality, you know they're not just there for quick money, and getting people in. There's a lot of coaches out there that will either have brilliant physiques, so you think, oh yeah, their coaching must be mega, that must be great, but they're shit, or coaches that post loads and loads of transformations, but it's all just 12-week diets where they starve the client, get them lean, they leave, and they just look the same again in a few weeks' time because it's not sustainable. Make sure it's someone that you genuinely know has good interests at heart, and that are going to look after you well, and that you can learn a lot from them. So learn how to coach first. Again, I'm not going to cover that in this video because there's way too much detail to go into there, but I'm going to talk a little bit about content, putting yourself out there and actually sticking to that shit. So first of all, consistency within your content creation. Treat it like it's your training. If you're here, again, you're wanting to be a coach, then your training must be very consistent. If you're wanting to be a coach, you need to walk the walk yourself. Spend time doing it, spend time building up a physique, spend time building up the credentials to actually be coaching people as well. But your training will be really important to you, and this is how I put it across. If you miss a training session, you'd be raging about it. You'd be like, why have I fucking missed that session? Especially if there was no real excuse or no real reason for it, you'd be raging that you'd missed that session. The same thing applies to your content. If you've not posted that day and there wasn't really a real reason for it, be angry at yourself. Kind of be like, oh fuck, I need to improve that. I need to get this done. Because without consistent content creation, without putting yourself out there, no one's going to know about your online coaching. So making sure you're consistent with it, first of all. Now, secondly, with your training, you cannot just go into the gym and do whatever you want and expect for it to work. You just go in and you lift some random weights and that's it. It's the same with your content creation. You need to have sort of some form of strategy or idea of what you're posting, who you're prioritizing that towards, your ideal client type of person. And then also, you know, showing yourself your own journey, showing results, and kind of getting the whole frame and the whole picture with that to show that you are a good coach. So the strategy that I kind of use, I call it, or it's called, is Mike Business Banter that I seen this from. So shout out Mike. It's me, you, and them. So I post about me. I post about, I say it's about you and about them. It's not technically. The ideology behind it and the idea behind it, sorry, is the me posts are about me. This is how my process is going. This is how my training's going. This is a full day of eating. Whatever it may be, that's about me and my process, showing that I walk the walk, and here's how you can maybe learn off of that. The you is, this is prioritized towards you. my ideal client. And these are educational posts showing that you actually do have enough knowledge to be coaching people and showing that your knowledge is better than theirs and tackling sort of topics that they might be struggling with. So let's say your target audience is up and coming bodybuilders and they don't know what they're going to be doing regarding their prep and how to map it out. Your educational post might be about how to map out your prep, how to make sure you're successful with it. You know, making sure that your educational posts are targeted towards the people that you want to work with. Understanding that if you are a new coach, if you're 18 years old, 17, 18 years old like I was, that your target audience isn't going to be experienced bodybuilders. Because why would an experienced bodybuilder trust a 17-year-old that's never competed? Set your goals, be realistic with it. You know, it doesn't need to be an exact niche when you begin, but have a rough idea as to who you want to work with. For myself, when I was 17, 18 years old, it was people similar-ish age to me who wanted to build muscle, who wanted to lose fat, who wanted to get in shape and just be a better version of themselves. So what I done was think about, what did I struggle with when I was younger? And then I would target my content towards that. The stuff that I used to struggle with regarding my foods, with rate of gain, with being too attached to the scale, all these different things, I'd post about that. So the you content, the educational content, that's either you sitting down and kind of speaking like this and posting it on Instagram, or if it's like a slideshow talking through some certain stuff, prioritize it towards people that you want to help and make it help them with their struggles. The them content, finally, is look at them. Here's my clients, look at them. They're making loads of progress. So the me, the you, and the them. I post 2 times per week of each of these. So 2 me posts, one of them is my check-in update, one of them is training clips. The you, one of them is a talking reel, one of them is an infographic kind of slideshow. Brandon can put that up on screen. And then the them is usually just 2 side-by-side transformations. Sometimes it's like a client case study, or it's like I done one, it was like how I took Petru from here to being a WNBF pro in a slideshow talking through that. So making sure that you post all avenues to show that you are a good, complete coach, showing that you walk the walk yourself, showing that you have knowledge to actually help people, and then showing that you have good results. No one wants to go to a coach that doesn't have any results. No one also wants to go to a coach when they don't know what their personality is like, when they don't know who they are, they don't know if they're actually trustworthy. That's when you need to open up a little bit more. Me doing this right now, I don't feel entirely comfortable doing it, but I'm trying to help people. You know, talking to the camera is never ever easy. I've got a DJI Osmo staring at me right now, and I'm just thinking, you know, what is this? Is this normal? It's not, it doesn't feel right to speak to a camera a lot of the time, but you need to do it. You need to put yourself out there. You need to give people value, and you come across as a lot more genuine because you are when you're speaking to the camera and just putting yourself out there. So making sure you show your personality, because again, even if you do have good results, you never know if a person, especially nowadays, you see it all over social media, people making millions and millions of pounds and all these Forex traders and this and that, and it's great seeing the results, but are they actually trustworthy? Are they going to look after you? Are they actually going to have care for you? No. You know, make sure the coach that you choose actually has a good personality, and you can see that they are just a good person overall. So for you yourself wanting to become an online coach, you need to show that on your social media as well. So stuff like question boxes, and this is all on, I didn't even mention, this is all on Instagram. You know, it's not a case of just post a couple of times on TikTok and expect your business to blow up. TikTok is usually good for just putting or getting numbers. You know, like I used to have a lot of followers on TikTok. I could get like millions of views in certain videos, but it doesn't mean anything. It doesn't do anything. And a lot of people on TikTok aren't very serious with their goals anyway. They're just sat there doom scrolling on TikTok. This is all for Instagram. But yeah, showing yourself and your personality, putting up question boxes on your stories and asking people, you know, or saying to people, here's a question box, ask any questions, let me help you out. And people will ask daft questions, you can have a bit of a laugh, a bit of a giggle on it. Your stories are where you post yourself. Your grid posts are a little bit more serious. Your stories, there should still be serious stories, but that's a little bit more of just having some fun, showing yourself, even again, just showing like little things about your day, fun shit, relatable shit, all of that type of stuff. So showing your personality. Long form content is really good for this too. So what I'm doing just now, YouTube. So YouTube is really good for actually letting people get to know who you are, letting them know like what your training's like, going a little bit more in depth with that. Again, you get more comfortable talking to a camera as well when you're doing it long form. The people that are watching your long form content as well are really investing into you, and then they'll most likely talk to you a little bit more, they'll interact with you a little bit more, and it's good to build up that interaction with your followers. That's good for the algorithm, and if you're talking to people more often, if they end up wanting a coach and they've already built up a really good relationship with you, they look up to you, they see that you're putting out good content, then it's much more likely that they start up with you instead of random people that they don't know at all. So long form content is really good for building up that trust, and overall it's just fun to make as as well. You know, this is a bit more of a serious video, but when I'm away training with different people and posting that on YouTube, it's very fun to do. So I would start up a YouTube as well alongside that. A podcast can always be really good as well. I know there's about 7 million podcasts right now, and everyone seems to be doing them. The same goes with YouTube. But again, if you want to put yourself out there, if people really do invest that time into you, even if it's 10 people, that's 10 people that really, really care, you know, and those are people that are much more likely to actually inquire for coaching. So YouTube and podcasts, along with posting very consistently on Instagram. I checked there, 1,111 posts on Instagram. I don't know if I just already mentioned that. I can't even remember really where I am in the video. But yeah, 1,111 posts in the past 4 years, and that averages out to a post daily. When I seen my most growth initially, it was when I was in prep. So a bodybuilding prep can massively help with this. You know, like you get in really good shape, you want to kind of post a little bit more about your physique, and overall your productivity is a little bit higher. So a bodybuilding prep can be really good for this side of things and building your social media. Because again, I remember posting 3 times a day and my business was blowing up at that point. But as of recent, as I've got back into posting very consistently and more so posting the right stuff, you know, businesses went up a lot. I want you to make sure that you're not just focused on getting likes or views as well. Again, I remember there was videos of me when I was really, really lean. I was tensing my tricep. I was hitting some post-workout pose and got like 5 million views in one video. I got 60 coaching inquiries or something off the back of it, and I got 1 response from one. Out of all of those 60 people, I got 1 response. It doesn't matter if you get loads and loads of views. Majority of the time, it's just young 14, 15-year-olds from mad countries that are just liking your shit, and they're like, oh, I'll inquire for coaching and see what it costs, expecting it to be 20 quid a month. Of course not. You know, like these people aren't serious, giving actual valuable content and not worrying as much about the numbers that they do. When I post an educational reel talking through something, like it's like 50 likes. If I post some like really good physique shots, it will get 1,000 likes. But the educational post is going to be better for my business than just posting my physique. So not being attached, sorry, and understanding that the numbers aren't everything. It's more about the value that you give with your content. So that covers the content side of things. Now, again, when I started my coaching business, I got up to 10 clients, and I remember this, I've said this a good few times. I got up to 10 clients a year in, and then it came up to the summer holidays, and all those 10 clients, or majority of those 10 clients, were with me to help get in shape for summer. Summer comes around, they all leave. I have 1 client left after 1 year. And I was thinking, I'm not going to be able to make this work. I'm not going to make this happen. I've been at it for a year and it's not fucking working. What am I going to do? I'm bawling my eyes out in the car just thinking, I'm going to just need to crack on with curries for the rest of my life. Like, I don't know what else I'm going to be doing here. But again, consistency on the ball with all this shit that I'm talking about right now, like it makes a massive, massive difference. When I had 10 clients, I didn't think that I'd be able to take 20 clients on. When I had 20, I didn't think I'd be able to handle 30. When I had 30, I didn't think I'd be able to handle 40. When I had 40, I didn't think I'd be able to handle 50, so on and so forth. Now, to give you a realistic expectation, in the long run, I think 75 clients is about the maximum, or my maximum. Everyone else has got a different maximum depending on what you want to do, depending on your goals in life, how much money you want to make, how much time you want to invest into just work and less stuff outside of that. Most coaches that have over 100 clients don't bodybuild or don't focus on physique development themselves. They just work, and that's it. I don't want to be like that. I still love bodybuilding myself. I still want to pursue that. I still need to have 8 to 9 hours of sleep opportunity per night. I still need to have time to eat 4 to 5 meals per day. I still need to have time to train 2 hours per day. All these different things, I still want time for myself, and outside of that, time to spend with my family, time to fucking go and do cool shit, go on holidays, go and drive my car, go and have fun. You know, I don't want to have much more than 75 clients myself. Standard pricing for coaching, this is for the UK, it depends on what country you're in, there is differences. The US, I imagine it's even more expensive than it is in the UK, but for good online coaching, you're usually looking at £150 to £250 per month. £150 per month is more of a maybe less experienced coach that is newer to it, and that will therefore be a little bit cheaper. They maybe don't have as much results or as much credentials. 200 kind of middle grounds, and then 200 to 250, that's when you're looking at coaches who have a lot of experience, a lot of results, a lot of clients, ability to actually prep you if you're looking for a bodybuilding coach, who have done it themselves successfully, who have helped other people do it very successfully as well. That's usually what you're looking at. Now, if you take that and you do the calculations, 200 times 75, that's £15,000 per month. It's not fuck you money, it's not ridiculous money, but it's a lot of money. It's a lot more than the average wage in the UK. In terms of time versus money as well, I'd say it's pretty damn good. Again, there is downsides to it in the sense that you don't have working hours. You're working all the time. It is going to be early mornings. It is going to be late nights. When it's in the show season, if you're a bodybuilding coach, then it's going to be really fucking difficult. It's very hard. You know, burnout is inevitable. It's going to be very challenging. But so is bodybuilding. You know, if you love bodybuilding, you're going to love coaching. Bodybuilding comes with its difficulties. Sometimes you don't want to do it. It's going to be hard. Anything worthwhile is always going to come with challenge. So not being afraid of that, you know, not being afraid of hard work and effort. Within your first years of coaching, you need to knuckle down on hard work and effort. You know, you can't complain about why is my business not growing. I used to do it again in that first year when I built up to 10 clients, came back down to 1. I used to complain, why is it not going well? Why is it not doing this? My posting was irregular. I wasn't posting my clients enough. I wasn't putting myself enough out there. I wasn't selling what I actually do much out there. I wasn't confident enough to speak to the camera. I wasn't doing a great deal. If I had done that, I guarantee I would have been in a better position. But in the first few years, you need to work harder. You just literally need to put the time and effort in. Very similar to anything else in life. Again, training, you understand that it's going to take years to build up a really good physique. So why do people think when they start coaching that it's going to take 6 months to just go bang and blow up like that? It does not happen. For myself, you know, I blew up relatively quickly in the sense of like it's when I prepped and everything started happening and I won my shows and I started to get a lot more eyes on me. But the groundwork had been getting put in for 2 years before that, you know? So making sure you aren't afraid of that hard work. Again, I wanted to kind of talk about pricing roughly, and you know, when you are starting up coaching, I don't recommend charging 150 if you are very, very new to it. For myself, for example, I started out charging £80 a month for the first year or two, you know, because I didn't have a great deal of experience and I knew that. So I'm not going to be charging people acting as if I know everything. Be understanding of the fact that you don't know everything. You need to invest time and money into your own education. So again, whether that be through getting a really good coach and just learning from them and asking lots of questions, or signing up to J3U, you know, John Jewett's educational portal. ICM, Institute of Coaching Mastery. There's loads of different educational portals, going to seminars, learning more, listening to a lot of podcasts, doing all these different things. Be open to learning, always keep an open mind. As soon as you think that you know everything, you're cooked. You know, you're going to be left behind. You're going to be a dinosaur. It's always evolving. There's always more to learn. So make sure that you have an open mind and that you're willing to learn there. But again, if you can do all these things consistently, content-wise, education, looking after your clients well. I've mentioned it I think a few times in this video already, but if you don't know how to coach, if you don't have a coach already, sort that out first. You know, none of this matters without you actually being able to provide a good service, a service that is worthwhile of someone's money. You know, the check-ins need to be really fucking good. Your Loom check-ins, you need to be putting time and effort into them, notes down, making changes when you need to, actually looking and thinking, what do I need to do? Making sure that you're covering the training clips, that you're being personable, that everything's on time, that you're always getting back to people as quickly as possible, answering questions. And when you start doing that with 10, 20, 30, 40, 50 different people, it does become very hard. So buckling yourself in for some hard work, understand that it's not just going to come to you like that. Now, on the Natural Physique Hub, because again, I can't go into all of it on this because we've literally got hours of content on there. It would be a multiple, like 2-3 hour long video trying to cover all this. But I cover stuff like inquiry forms, consultation forms, how to actually set up a client, knowing what to do when a client inquires with you in the sense of when they come to you, let's say they're skinny fat, what do you do from there? Do you put them into a dieting phase? Do you put them into a gaining phase? How do you decide what food to put your client on? How do you decide what split to put your client on? How do you assess their physique? There's so many different things that go way beyond this video. This is just a bare minimum. You know, your content and just looking after your clients pretty much is all this is. But I want to kind of put out there what's realistic and what's able to happen when you do put hard work in. Similar to what I do with my training, I'm not afraid to show that. So I realised that I probably shouldn't be afraid to show this as well, because it's what I put a lot of time and effort into too. So yeah, if you want to build your coaching business to a real good fucking business, making 5 figures plus per month over the years, building it up to something you can be genuinely proud of, you need to start somewhere. If you've not posted already, get on top of it, do it consistently. If you get 2 likes per post, who gives a fuck? It's going to build up over time. It's always embarrassing and cringy until it actually works out. So get after it, get posting, get doing everything that you know that you should be doing, and be patient with it. Simple. I hope this video has helped someone out there who's looking to build up their coaching business. If you are interested in learning a little bit more, do message me, because again, in the Natural Physique Hub, we're looking to build that up a lot soon and building a lot more content on aspiring coaches. And even if you want to just message me and I can kind of message back and give you a little bit of advice if you're struggling with anything, then do let me know. But thank you for watching. Please do like, subscribe, follow, share. If you have any questions in the comments on this as well, please feel free to ask them. And it might be a question that someone else is wondering as well, so I can answer it on there and someone else might see that. that. So thank you all for tuning in, and see you in the next one. See ya.